Hello, this is part 2 of Animatronic-Me Elmo. I've taken a Tickle-Me Elmo and I'm going to make him animatronic. This project is inspired by the 2001 movie AI Artificial Intelligence starring Jude Law, and in that movie there was a teddy bear that could walk around. Now this was puppeteered by someone walking around with the teddy bear's feet attached to the puppeteer's feet and various other puppeteering mechanisms, but my version is going to be a rig that rolls around behind Elmo doing the same thing. Last time I sorted out the walking motion and I've increased the stride length slightly since the last video, and in this video we're going to go and work on the upper body animatronics. This video isn't sponsored, but this is just a quick ad for ways you can support the channel, and that really makes all the difference to the projects. I have Patreon and YouTube channel membership where you can get access to all my videos early and also sneak peeks and pictures of what's coming up. There are some affiliate links in the description, including a sign up for a free trial of Skillshare, and if you sign up using that link it won't cost you any more of course, but I'll get some money. There's also a link for Matter Hacker's 3D printing supplies, and I'll be adding more affiliate links into that section as time goes on. Of course I have my merchandise store where you can buy my t-shirts, bags, socks and various other merchandise with designs on of performance robots, openDog and various other things that I've built. So now it's time to gut the upper body of Tickle-Me Elmo and take the tickling mechanism out and see if we can get the stuffing out so we can get our animatronic mechanism in. He's got a bit of Velcro at the back, and this is the module, which is the tickling mechanism. He's got wires that go down to his arms and feet, and when you trigger one of those it triggers the motor and the sound module, and the rest of him is pretty much just stuffing. So there he is with no stuffing, obviously quite limp and completely empty. His eyes are in fact one solid piece there, which is fixed onto the inside. If we look through the hole in the back, those are actually fixed on there with a couple of kind of studs that go through and they're bonded to the fabric. His mouth as well has got a piece of rigid plastic. You should be able to just see in there. So hopefully we can attach some stuff to that to give him some actions. And I'd really like to consider the character here. So most Muppets, of course, have got someone's hand inside them operating the mouth, so they tend to move their shoulders around and their head at once, and then the arms are generally on sticks out the back to the puppeteer, so those move independently, so we're going to try and do that. We do want to make the head move this way and get the arms as independent as possible, so I need to consider that in the mechanism. And that looks something like this. So we're going to have this mount which sticks onto the existing base, and then we've got two green sections, and one of those is for the shoulders, which will rotate itself, so it rotates the whole shoulder mechanism round, and that in turn has two servos and two pivots to move the arms up and down. And then on the top we're going to have this head mechanism which again moves independently, and that's got a servo with a lever that will shove in the top of the head to open and close the mouth and move the head up and down. And then those two green sections are driven by two servos in the mount. So we need to start getting this printed and sort of see how it fits and what the proportions are. But we've got 5 servos there, so we've got 5 degrees of freedom and 5 joints, so I think that should probably be fine for puppeteering a Muppet. So we've got that new piece mounted there which holds the body and the head mechanism, so that's his head there. So we'll have a servo in there with a lever that moves up and down, and that's going to go inside the top of his head there and hopefully provide some rotation. And then we've got this piece which is the shoulder pivots, and that should align nicely with his shoulders to move his arms up and down. So I just need to get the scale right for some pieces to go in there before I put all the servos in and put some linkages in. And hopefully I can get his skin on with all of this. I suspect I'm going to have to take the shoulders off and poke those in his arms and then screw it on through the back there. Hopefully we don't have to open him up anymore. So I've put some arm levers in, and those are going to be attached to these servos to pull them in that sort of motion, and we should get quite a good range of motion. And hopefully that's the right proportion for Elmo's arm on each side to lift his arms out like that. And of course this piece rotates so he can lift his arms and sort of do that motion there. Looks a bit like a bird at the moment. And that shoulder motion is controlled by this servo that just pushes a lever and pushes that backwards and forwards, and there's another one at the top there which is for the head. So this is his mouth mechanism, which is just a plate that's going to fit in the top of his mouth under his eyes, so that, as well as pulling the head up and down, should open and close his mouth slightly. And I've just fitted the servos in here to move the arms with those servos on each side there, so that should give quite a good range of motion. So I've wired all my servos in there. We've got another turning G-BEC tucked away at the bottom. Don't know if you can just see it there, which is providing 6 volts for those servos. And if you remember from last time, there's another one that provides 6 volts to the leg servos, and those are 5 amp regulators. So I've just got all of my servo signal pins there wired into the Arduino, and this is an Arduino MEGA. I think it will do up to 40 servos or 50 servos at once, and this is a 9 servo machine. Well, yes, it is starting to look more and more like a bird, but there we go. So I've got various puppeteering modes now. So the twist on these sticks now, the right hand one operates the twist of the head there, and the other side operates the twist of the body. So we can do that sort of thing, or we can obviously twist them in opposite directions. And then front and back on the right hand stick here operates the mouth there, which looks a bit like a bird's beak at the moment. And then the 2 motions that way operate the arms. So if I can get my coordination right, I should be able to do all sorts of things that look like it's a character, hopefully. Now that stuff only happens when this switch is down on the remote. If I push it back again and then I drive normally, it should automatically move the body side to side as it takes steps. And the head still works on the other stick there, so I can look around as I'm walking around. I'm using a first order filter to drive all those servos, and that smooths out the motion so we get the sharp initial response, and then it decelerates as it gets to its target, and that makes the motions really smooth. It makes it look a lot more lifelike, and it's really good for animatronics. And I stole that bit of code from Matt Denton's Mantis Hacks, so don't forget to check his channel out. He recently built Dio from Star Wars in his channel, and also in my channel we did a Nerf gun challenge where I accidentally shot him in the eye, so don't forget to check that video out as well. But I'm going to put all the CAD and the code for this project in the description to the video. It's on GitHub, so you can have a look at that. If it's useful to you, feel free to use it. Now we need to get the skin back on though, and see how he looks as Elmo instead of a funny looking animatronic bird. So I'm pretty happy with that. It seems to work okay. It doesn't work too well off-road, of course, and we could really do with putting off-road wheels on the back there so you could grip on the mud and stuff a bit better. But it's all right downhill. It works okay on a smooth surface, and Elmo got to me some ducks. I guess other improvements would be the ability to actually put the arms forward a bit more like a Muppet. At the moment I can only really turn the torso slightly and then put the arms out, which isn't too good, so he's not good at hugging anything or gripping anything, but for walking he does absolutely fine. Anyway, I've put all the CAD and code in the link in the description to this video, so don't forget to check that out. And if you'd like to support the channel, then check out my affiliate links, my Patreon, YouTube channel membership, and my merchandise store. Alright, that's all for now.